As we move further into the 20th century, it's becoming more and more important for marketers to adjust their tactics in order to properly reach a completely new and different set of generations. Although both millennials and Gen Z have been raised with the birth of newer technologies like the internet, smartphones, and social media, their needs, perceptions, and spending habits are quite different. Today, we'll be talking about how marketers can better identify ways to reach these generations in a way that can resonate and really leave an impact. Welcome to this week's Media Moment. To begin, it's important to know exactly who is included in these generations. A millennial is anyone who was born between 1981 and 1996 and would now be anywhere from 24 to 40 years old. Millennials make up roughly 25% of the US population, which is currently more than baby boomers. They are the most educated generation in US history, with 1/3 of them earning at least a 4-year college education, and about 1 in 4, or 25% of them, are parents. Because they are such a dense portion of the population, millennials' combined spending power has an estimated total of over $1 trillion each year. Millennials grew up during an economic boom, meaning they're very idealistic and passionate about carving their own path or chasing their dreams, with a study showing that 54% of them want to start their own business or already have. Gen Z consists of those born between 1997 and 2015, ranging from 6 to 24 years old, making up about 20%. The combined spending power is also high, totaling roughly $140 billion each year. Gen Zs grew up during a recession, which means they're more pragmatic and focused on saving money wherever they can. A majority of them grew up not knowing life without the internet, smartphones, or online shopping. In fact, 98% of them own smartphones. Both generations are still fairly young, though the habits they possess when it comes to shopping, spending, and brand perception is vastly different. Individually comparing these two different groups in every single aspect would take far too long to explain. And like the average attention span of them, which is 12 seconds for millennials and 8 for Gen Z, we'll try to keep it short and sweet. We'll start with millennials. The age gap can seem a little large, so that can bring forth some challenges in how to approach them. However, with the right knowledge, you can still provide your own unique value propositions to them with the right tactics. Based on the stats shown earlier, we can assume that millennials are well-educated, determined, family-oriented individuals. Because they grew up with the birth of the digital age, they are familiar with both what marketing was like before the internet, as well as how marketing is done digitally today. They're tech-savvy and love new technologies, but also have a nostalgic side for traditional things that can remind them of their younger days. This means marketing on social media can help a business to target millennials with real success. YouTube, for example, is a fantastic way to reach this generation with video marketing. In fact, 70% of them utilize YouTube and its millions of videos to learn how to do something or to learn more about something that has piqued their interest. Additionally, 76% say they use YouTube to follow a brand or a company. If you're looking to shed light on your product or service, we suggest giving YouTube a chance. If it's something they can learn, try a tutorial. Make it light, fun, humorous, and be sure to display exactly how your brand or company can provide value to them. There are also a ton of influencers who operate mainly on YouTube. 57% of millennials have said that they are willing to view sponsored content if it's coming from a digital personality, and as long as it's entertaining and useful. It's been stated that almost half of this generation is more drawn to a brand that goes beyond just making money. If purchasing a product comes with the satisfaction of supporting a cause, they're all for it. For example, Warby Parker is an eyewear company with reasonably priced, fashion-forward glasses. They've taken the pain of shopping for glasses physically and provide a fully online service that customers can use to shop without leaving their home. They're also extremely aware of what kind of value propositions can reach millennials, and they have successfully tapped into the market with their buy a pair, give a pair incentive. Whenever a pair of glasses is purchased, they let their customers know that a pair will also be given to someone in need, somewhere in the world. With this, customers receive the product they want and a bit of satisfaction knowing that they directly contributed to helping someone who needs it. To simplify, millennials want honest, valuable, and trustworthy brands that can provide an experience. Stick to these principles when marketing your brand or company, and you should have relative success in reaching this generation. Moving on, we'll take a look at some ways to reach the most recent generation, Gen Z. As we said before, Gen Z grew up during a recession, meaning they are extremely conscious about their spending. It's safe to assume that these habits were brought out from their parents, who may have had to become increasingly frugal during the recession in 2008. This also means they're more willing to work hard for financial stability. They're also more aware of some increasingly discussed societal issues like racial equality, gender identity, and LGBTQ support. When it comes to technology, almost all of them have a deep understanding of the digital world. With information on almost anything available to them via the internet, a majority of their brand perception is formed through how a brand or company is portrayed online. Instead of traditional marketing, they typically rely on their social media abilities and online research to help them form opinions about different brands. This means that your brand or company needs to look and feel authentic, transparent, and socially aware. Let's look at an example of a successful marketing campaign that reached a company's target audience within Gen Z. Clio is a digital money management assistant. It helps its users to better operate a budget with things like daily, weekly, and monthly reminders and recaps on spending habits and ways to save money in a way that speaks the language of Gen Z through humor and memes. Because they were aware of the financial literacy that Gen Z tends to have, they knew exactly who to target. This recent marketing campaign that came with the hashtag #RoastMeClio showed the digital AI roasting its users who were spending more money than they should have on unimportant things. By allowing people to interact with the AI, the company was seeing interactions consistently going up as more and more people wanted to see what the digital assistant would come up with. On top of this, people were eager to show off just how badly they were roasted, leading to a trending Twitter hashtag providing even more exposure. The overall differences between marketing to millennials and Gen Z are different, but they aren't overly complicated. Both generations want added value to their purchases and expect brands or companies to be true to themselves while remaining as transparent as possible. Now more than ever, consumers expect brands to take a social stance and bring value not only to them, but the entire world. As always, marketing strategies will continue to change as newer and newer generations take over as the majority population. It's vital for brands and companies to be ready and willing to change with them.